Howdy, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of CardBlitz. I'm your host, Kelly Reed, joined by my good friend, Patrick Marshall. Patrick, how's it going?
Good, Kelly. How you guys doing? How you doing?
Oh,
Good?
it's good, man. We've had a whole lot of football going on, a little bit of Mavs basketball going on, but most importantly, this is the Big 5-0,
Yeah,
episode 50.
I know. Woo!
Dude, it's been a journey, man. So we got a lot to reflect on and a lot to talk
It's
about.
hard to believe it's 50. That's great.
The
So,
year has flown by, man.
yeah,
2025 has gone by quick.
that's
Um,
correct.
Getting into a little bit of the college football thing real quick. Watched the first round of the college football playoffs, and you know, I, I think that the media is going to have a field day with this inclusive G5 teams. Two of them that kept out perhaps a Notre Dame and a Vanderbilt or a Notre Dame and Texas. So.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens in round two of the college football playoffs. But how about you, man? Did you get a chance to watch any of those games?
Yeah, the one game that it's not going to be, it wasn't sexy to watch, but man, I thought it was a good game. Was at Miami, Texas A&M. That was a battle. I mean, I kept coming in from going outside and had the TV on in the background, and I was like three nothing. I'm like, what's going on here? And I was like,
It was 3-3.
yeah, 3-3, started the fourth quarter. I'm like, this is I meant to sit down and watch this. So I thought it was a pretty good battle of two teams that were, I think they got it right on that, the college football playoff. So it was definitely entertaining. Oregon game, not so sure. So
Ole Miss Tulane, probably not. That was
no,
a
no, no.
regular season game, and then
But
Friday night,
Alabama,
I was
that
gonna
was
say Friday night. Yeah, I watched that with our friend 50 Cent. And he was worth two quarters, wasn't he?
man. You know what? I was watching that. It was 17. I didn't realize they scored 17 unanswered points to end the half. And I sat down right before halftime. I go, wow, what's going on here? And then
It all. Yeah.
it was pretty impressive. Another good matchup, though. I mean, I like the way they did that. That was a good head to head to
Well,
have.
that's another rematch from the regular season, and so
Yeah,
again, if the G5 teams aren't included, maybe different matchups, maybe
you're
different
right.
outcomes, right?
Yeah, it's a process. I mean, the whole aspect of the CFP is great. Expand it to more teams and maybe get rid of half the bowl games. I hate to say it, but some of those bowl games are just, I forget they're even on.
Hmm.
So, I mean, I think a lot of the public does as well, unless you go to school there
Right.
or you're playing in the bowl, then you probably care more than the average person. So,
Have you ever checked out those Bowman University cards? They're
no, I have not.
college athletes and their college unis. I
Okay.
wonder if things those cards will start to pick up in value as time goes on.
Okay. No, I'll definitely look into those.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
And then woke up Sunday morning and found out that my our Dallas Cowboys, have been officially eliminated.
yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I mean, I knew.
No more, man.
See, I thought they were not. I thought obviously they would not win the division because Philadelphia won. I didn't realize that they were completely eliminated until I was watching half of the game, and I'm like, wait a second. Oh man, come on.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
when you don't have
But
defense, this is the results.
but a huge day in Carolina, in Charlotte. I mean, the Panthers took care of Tampa Bay at home. It was amazing.
Hmm.
So there's a lot of buzz around here, which is fun. So
Panthers are playoff bound, right?
that's right. That's right. They are.
You'll still have some playoff football to root for. So
Yeah. So what's exciting too is that they need to win the division, though. So obviously, if Miami can somehow beat Tampa Bay this week, which after they got drubbed this weekend, I doubt that will happen. But let's assume that it could come down to Week 18, Tampa Bay, Carolina at Tampa Bay for the division. So it's going to be exciting because I'm not sure if Carolina can beat Seattle in Charlotte this week, next week. But I mean, stranger things have happened. They went to Green Bay and beat Green Bay, so anything could happen in the NFL.
definitely.
So,
Well, hey, maybe Quinn Ewers will make a difference in Miami.
you
Maybe
know what? I'm
they
hoping.
use their running backs because
Yeah,
apparently I heard the second half they like just gave up on the run game, and I'm like, what are y'all doing? So,
yeah, yeah.
well,
So,
dude, let's
yeah.
get into like birthdays and a tale of two Steves.
That's right. A tale of two Steves. I don't mind kicking off because this was an exciting one for me.
Yeah, you're lead
Today,
off.
this
You're lead
gentleman
off.
nicknamed Lefty, Mr. Steve Carlton, turns 81 today. So he was quite the pitcher back in the day. Played from 65 to late 80s, like 88. He won 4 Cy Youngs, and they were all with the Phillies, which I didn't realize because I knew he had a long career, but he was a dominant pitcher for the Phillies in the late 70s or mid 70s to 80s. Um, and what he was really known for was he was just a dominant pitcher on the mound.
Hmm.
Like when it came to the all-time strikeout leader, I think Walter Johnson's record. I think I read a stat or some clipping that it was for 2 years, like between I don't know, like 82 and 84. Steve Carlton, Nolan Ryan, and Gaylord Perry, out of anybody you could believe, were all battling for who was going to be the all-time leading strikeout leader in Major League Baseball, and it
Right.
like flipped back and forth.
Oh
And
yeah, I
obviously,
remember that, man. That there was
yeah,
debate on that, and the cards would reflect that each year. And
yeah, it's pretty cool. And I didn't realize the prolonged career. I mean, 329 wins for Steve Carlton, first Hall of Fame ballot, 1994, first one on there. Elected to the Hall of Fame as deservingly he should be.
right.
But just he was like the second player I think ever in Major League history to strike out 300 batters, which I thought was pretty amazing. And that's been done a few times since then. But he was setting the standard, the precedent back in the 70s. So it's
Wow,
pretty
man.
good.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, my Steve is not in the Hall of Fame. My birthday boy, Steve, is known as Mr. Clean.
Yeah. I like that card. That's nice.
Yeah, well, this was a big year for Mr. Steve Garvey. He This was his most productive power season ever as a Dodger, or as a
Okay.
player even. He had 33 home runs. He batted 297, had 115 runs that season. So definitely, Mr. Clean, Mr. Steve Garvey. You're right. This is a clean card for Mr. Clean.
Yeah.
I did not realize that he was a football player at Michigan State and a baseball player. So he was a two-sport athlete
Okay.
back in his college days.
Okay. I didn't know that either. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I just remember Steve Garvey, man, his forearms, every time he'd come to bat, he would like grip the bat like without a glove or something, and his forearms would just like,
Yeah.
just massive.
Flexing. He's just flexing that bat.
Yeah, I was like, wow, that guy's got four. He's impressive. So,
Yeah, and he won the MVP in 1974.
yep,
And
cool.
then when he was with the Padres, I didn't realize that until I was doing some research, they retired his jersey number there.
Oh, I did not know
After
that.
he retired in the 88 season. So he played till 87 with the Padres, helped them get to the World Series
Okay.
back in 84. And then
Yep.
I did not realize they retired his jersey number. I think, though, with the Dodgers, that number is not retired for him.
Okay. Okay. But yeah, he's a great player. I mean, you just pencil him in for a certain amount of stats. I'm sure back in the day, it was
Oh,
before
yeah.
my fantasy baseball days. But if I was a fantasy baseball guy back then, I would say, oh, let's get Garvey. You could just pencil him in for 20 homers, 80
Mr.
ribbies.
Consistency, Mr. Reliability.
Yeah.
Uh, he is not, though, in the Hall of Fame. Do you feel like that's something that, I mean, obviously he still has a chance, but do you think that because of his consistency over time, he'll squeak in there eventually?
Well, you know what? I'd like to look at his fielding stats because I remember him just being a great fielder.
Hmm.
And, maybe not bashing a lot of home runs, like you mentioned, 33 being his
That
career
was his all-time high, yeah.
but he was always consistent. You just pencil him in. I mean, if I was a manager, I'd love to have Steve Garvey. So they should speak to, the players that played with him, the pitchers that pitched with him, and
Yeah.
and his managers. I mean, I think is he Hall of Fame caliber? I think that's a good conversation. Not quite sure. I have to look
Hey,
at
he's
his
always
dive into his
borderline, man.
numbers.
And,
But
hey,
as a person and as knowing who he was when we were kids watching him, I was like, yeah, he always struck me as that Hall of Fame kind of caliber guy. So
well, both of you Steves, happy birthday. And certainly, I want to jump on with Patrick and I and talk baseball cards and talk about Hall
yeah,
of Fame and stuff. Give us a ring. We're here for you. We can
yeah, that's right.
we can continue with our saga of the two Steves at a later date, man. And yeah, talk Hall of Fame numbers. How about show and tell? Do you have anything that you've
Yeah,
got recently or you found in your massive
you know.
collection?
So look at this. Look at this card.
Is
I
this
think
Flick
I've
Part
found
Two?
some more Sports Flicks cards. 1989 Sports Flicks, Greg Maddux, and I was like, look how young he is right there. I was like, looking at, it, I was like, I was like, this is cool. Um, what's
Baby face.
significant about this is this year was this 88 season was amazing. I mean, I think at the All-Star break he was like 15-3. I remember him just dominating. I mean, this is the first of many years he was a great pitcher,
Hmm.
but he was 18-8. And people don't remember him like being on the Cubs. I mean, I do. Obviously, I think people do, but they remember him more for being on the Braves probably in some of those championship years and those
Yeah, when you
drives
do
to
the
the World
World
Series.
Series four times, and
Yeah,
you get one title out of it. Yeah, people are going to remember you for your accuracy, and he was like Mr. Precision, the
yeah,
professor, man. So
yeah. I
he's
think
in
it's
the
a good
game,
fit for the talking about Steve Carlton, but he's a right-hander, but still same kind of guy. So
Mr. Reliable over there.
yeah, that's right.
Well,
What
man, for
about
me,
yourself, Kelly?
I got two cards I want to show off here. One gets me one card closer to my 76 Topps football set here.
Sweet man,
So
nice.
yeah, the recipient of one Hail Mary pass from Roger Staubach.
That's got good centering. I like that. It's a
Yeah,
good one.
so the
Yeah.
the only card I'm missing now is the Walter Payton 1976 one
Okay.
rookie card. So again, I'm gonna ask CardBlitz viewers like, what do y'all think? Should I go for like the investment grade Walter Payton, or should I just go for like the mid grade, like an SGC 5 to fill the set? What do y'all
Good
think?
question.
I'm in debate. I'm like, do I spend the money or do I save some money and spend the other money, more on more cards that I want? Uh, Let me know what y'all are thinking, man.
Yeah, it's a good question. That comes into play a lot. So
Definitely. And then
yeah.
I don't know if I've shown this one off though. This Panini Star Wars sticker.
No.
Well, dude,
Cool, man.
we're about a year away from the big 50 for this, so definitely, man. Fire when ready, and we'll see what happens to Alderaan, right?
Yeah, let's have some let's get some Star Wars guys chiming in on that. I mean, that's great. Cool.
Yeah, man. This is from Italy, and so one of my collecting goals is to eventually like get like a not like a typeset of collector, but just one of each of the Star Wars 77 from like different regions or different countries on the planet, and just I think it'd be cool, man, because
Yeah.
it's a worldwide phenomenon back in 77.
Yeah, that's cool. I like it.
Well, man, let's get into this year of review, and it's been a year. And as you reflect back on your journey, does anything come to mind? Is there about your collection or about your collecting process, or anything you want to share out with the Card Blitz
Yeah,
viewers?
you know what I've really gotten better at, and I'm happy is I love the 1975 top set, the one that I showed the Steve Carlton.
Hmm.
And I've this year was great because I was able to do a lot of upgrades on some of my pieces, some of the commons, and even some semi-stars. I'm going for a mint set. I'm not sure how long it'll take me to upgrade all those cards, but 2025, when I look back, I probably upgrade about 10 cards to like stellar mint. I mean, and it's a cycle. Once you do a couple, you start looking at the other cards that you thought were mint. I think it's going to be a nonstop perfectionist cycle. I mean, I'm a little OCD when it comes to that, but yeah, I mean that's something that I accomplished this, and I think it's going to feed into 2026. I'm excited. I mean, I go to card shows here in Charlotte and look around for what people have for 75 tops, and that's kind of my first go-to. So
Okay.
it's kind of spurred something else in me for this year is I'm going to put together another set, but I'm going to do like some of my favorite sets, like 84 tops football is my next goal.
Oh, okay. So you're looking ahead to collecting
Yeah,
gold 2026,
yeah.
and I'm more kind of just wrapping up the year with 2025. So
Well, I think
that
20.
next episode, man,
Yeah,
we'll definitely get into the
yeah. I
collecting
think the
gold.
75 upgrade spurred that for this year. That's what I'm
Okay.
getting at. So
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Um, did you like? Do you feel like your collecting habits have they changed at all now that we've been doing this card blitz thing for about a year, and you've been getting out and about here and there for more card shows, reading more card content. Do you feel like your habits have changed much, or are you still like same old Patrick as you were heading into this?
I think I'm a lot more organized. I think I know what I like now, and what it makes me when we do these shows, it makes me think of like that would be really cool if I did if I had that, or if I did it this way. So I think the thought process has changed a little bit rather than just putting everything in a penny sleeve and a top loader, stacking it away. I kind of getting into the idea of like I want to. I've been looking at my cards more,
Oh,
so,
okay.
so I want to see more visual things, and um, yeah. So I think that's something that CardBlitz. When I look back in 2025, it's opened my eyes up to what's in this box, and if I do find something in that box, oh, that's a cool card. I'll
Right.
pull it aside. So when in the past I may just said, just shove it in there and like let's look at it later.
Well, that's the idea. It's a hobby, right, Patrick? So
Correct.
let's enjoy our cards, and that's the reason why we have them is so that you can share joy as well as just get the joy from looking at them, and yeah, take
Right.
you back to your nostalgia and your happy place, man.
It does. It does. And like being able to see them more. I mean, that's brings back a lot of it brings back memories of I can still remember when I got each card. Some of the stars I remember exactly when I got them. Now
That's awesome.
that's a crazy feeling. So what about yourself, Kelly? How
Well,
was
one of the things I look back on is heading into the year, I was like, hey, I want to collect and complete some sets. And I did that, man, like completing the 77 top set with all the stickers, all the series cards, all 5 series. That was a real joy, as well as getting the last card for like that 1972 football set.
Yep.
That
Yep.
means a lot to me. But I collected or finished like another 6 or 7 just, sets as well. And so I'm debating, do I put them in binders? Do I keep them in the 600 count box or 800 count box?
Yep.
So, you know, but the thing I really take away from 2025 for me personally is the more I get into this hobby, the more I realize there's so many more cool cards out there that I want, and I have to budget myself because, I'm a normal guy with a normal job. So,
Yeah.
but being aware and enlightened to like what's out there, it's very cool. It's a great hobby.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, Kelly. So I've found in 2025 when I look back, like seeking that top priced value card is not really what I'm after anymore. Like from like PC and things when I look back at 2025, there's cool cards that may be like a couple bucks that I almost put as high as like a Dan Marino rookie. It's like because it meant something to me back in the day. I think that's when I look back, that's changed me a little bit too. So
What you value, what you
yeah,
value might not just be like dollars and cents, but like I said, the memories associated with it.
yeah,
There's gonna be some of those Shohei cards. When I look at those, I'll think about you and I at the Dallas Card Show.
sure, yeah,
Just going through those like the value boxes and talking to the dealer from Florida and him cutting us
yeah,
a great price on them. And sure, the card value has gone up, but the memory means more to me because we had a blast at that show, man.
yeah, correct. That's good. Yeah, old Sunshine. Remember that card? I'll
Yeah.
have to show that. I'll have to show that one for show and tell coming up.
Definitely, yeah, that'd be a fun one. Since
Yeah,
Sunshine's team might make the playoffs, so we'll
dude,
see.
Sunshine's doing well. So the sun is shining.
Well, like I said, 2025's got a lot to go through, so I'm gonna
Yep.
kind of just go backwards, starting December of 2025. It'll be rapid, kind of a quick hitting kind of segment, and just kind of share top of mind ideas. As I bring up the topic, you just share your thoughts real quick, and if I have a response, I'll reply to you.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, because there's a lot happened.
All right. So right off the bat today, signing with the Chicago White Sox, Munetaka Murakami, straight out of Japan, signing with
Really?
the White Sox. Yes, sir. Today. So what do you think about that, man?
Wow. How is he a kid? How old is he?
He's 25 years old.
Oh,
He's
it's not that young. Okay.
yeah, he's the single season home run champ. I guess for most home runs in Japanese in NPL, Japanese baseball league. So.
Okay.
High expectations. He
Yeah.
following the footsteps of Godzilla and a few other great Japanese hitters. So with power. So
Yeah.
we'll see what he produces up there with our good friend Mr. Luis Robert, as they say in Canada.
Yeah. We'll see how he handles the
Mr. Robert there.
nice, cold, windy nights in the outside Chicago. We'll see how that
He
goes.
might be right at home, man. So we'll
Is the
see.
ball flying out? Great. No problem.
Yeah,
So,
we'll see what kind of power he has.
yeah.
Next big thing that came up was the recent sell of the Shohei Ohtani gold logo man Topps Chrome update card. It's one of one, and it sold for like $3 million.
Wow.
And this just happened like a few days ago.
Yeah. I was not aware of that. That's pretty impressive. What was it? Investment group or was it a
That I
individual
don't
like
know. I
collector?
just saw the headline and I was like,
Okay,
wow, 3 million. It like tripled his other $1 million card that he had sold previously.
that's going to set a precedent, man. We're gonna hear more stories like that in 2026. I'm sure that upper echelon.
And here
So,
you and I are happy with our $1, $2, $5 cards.
dude, the 73 tops, heritage Shohei Ohtani card. I love it. It's probably $1.
Yeah, it's $1, but I got
Yeah,
3 million.
but it looks cool.
What about PSA acquiring BGS or collectors acquiring BGS under their
Yeah,
umbrella with PSA and SGC? What do you think about that?
yeah. I'm still wondering what the strategy is. That was that just a power move to monopolize a player that was a threat, or is that going to be is PSA or collectors going to step back and go, okay, this is the way we're going to operate. We're going to, BGS is going to be maybe our sole source for authentication of autographs or something like that, or a certain revenue segment for them. I have a
Well,
hard time
we saw
believing.
what happened with SGC. Their vintage graders got cannibalized and sent over to PSA.
Yeah, so they
So
had the vintage.
Beckett could be under the same boat because Beckett's authentication guys are like pretty knowledgeable and
Yeah,
respected. So wouldn't be surprised if collectors moves them over to PSA as well.
I
Just
wonder if they keep
that
it.
brand.
Is Beckett going to, if Beckett's going to keep like their black label or anything like that? Like
No news on any of that yet. I just
okay,
know that they've been acquired. And then
okay,
the question then will be like, okay, so you got CGC as your alternative to the Collectors Universe group,
yeah,
and you got Tag.
yep. I
That's
read something interesting today about tag.
MBA. I don't know if you're aware of those their slabs or MBA. It's one that
Mm-mm.
apparently is into vintage now, but they're starting to make some headway in the market too, I heard.
Yeah, I'm gonna send one to tag just to see kind of what it looks like because I think they have a black background that you can get now, and they have two different grading things. They have a standard card grading, I think is like $12 or $15. Um, and then you get I forget what they call it. There's a certain name, a collector, a grade and market grade or something like that. That's like $37, quick turnaround. But what it does, it gives you kind of a 0 to 1,000 number of how that card ranks with other cards that have been graded by tag. So say it's a 10 and it gets a 975 on a scale of 0 to 1,000. You can actually see, and it gives you a report. It's not a population report, but they give you a report of maybe you see there's one that was a 958 of that exact card and one that was a 982 or, something like that, which I think is pretty unique. That's kind of a unique little marketing strategy for tag. So,
The one negative I've heard about Tag is that they are not able to do anything graded like pre-89 or something like that.
I see more
With
new
all the
cards.
equipment. So that to me is that that look, you and I got a lot of older cards.
Yeah.
We got some of the newer cards, but mainly the older cards. So that how would that impact collectors like us? So
Yeah. Yeah. Not sure.
and we'll
That's
see what happens with PSA or collectors again. Acquiring Beckett and then the prices from PSA recently getting raised and the turnaround times have gone a little bit longer. So
yeah, they've gotten longer. So,
crazy. Well, moving into we talked about the PSA increase for November. What about the SGC numbers, grading numbers plummeting? Does that spark anything upstairs?
yeah, I think it's a reflection of, okay, this happened. There's going to be a change, and then something else is going to. I think the numbers will probably go back up a little bit. I mean, I'm about to submit some things to SGC, and I was hesitant because of all the news that happened.
Throughout the year,
Yeah,
right?
throughout the year, and I was like, wow, are they going to disappear? I mean, is this going to have any value? You have to stop and say, am I doing it for my PC, or am I going to do it to one day have a resale value? Um, if it's a good card, I think it will always have a resale value, no matter how it gets graded. But if I want to see it for the next 10 to 15 years, I
Hmm.
think I'm still gonna submit to SGC. I think so. It'll be interesting to see if other people think the same way I do. Were they sitting back waiting to see what would happen?
Right.
Um,
Well, we'll see.
and then, yeah, I mean,
Uh,
personal note, I think you'll agree with this. I mean, I want it to succeed. I want people to be still get stuff graded by SGC. I think it's pretty neat. I think it's cool.
I would say, and on record here, I love the way that their slabs look, especially
Yeah,
with vintage cards. So I personally don't want to see SGC go away.
right.
But, if it's good, if they're going to become the boutique vintage grader for collectors, that for the company for them for the older stuff, then
Yeah,
I'd like to see collectors kind of pour into SGC to make it a more of a viable option.
correct. Yeah, I agree.
I was gonna say, and then rounding out November, heading into the Thanksgiving break, the story of Probstein and Snipe, with that marketplace launching and failing within, I guess, 24 hours. So, any thoughts on that?
I was not really dialed into that because it must have just happened very quickly and
Yeah, within 24 hours,
and
and their
disappeared. And I
first
was,
auction, and then we're done. We're closing out. So,
but when I think about it, Probstein, I mean, they were doing really well on eBay's platform. So I guess they tried to take that and make it their own. I guess is what I understand about the whole situation. So sometimes when things are going well, maybe just ride it out and should just continue to
yeah,
do what you do.
the whole alleged show bidding thing and Dr. Beckett and his podcast, that was the end of November, Fast and Furious and Frantic. Uh,
Yeah.
and Probstein is back with eBay right now.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
they moved, I guess, all their inventory back over and they're selling.
It's a solid channel for them. So I mean,
I mean,
lesson
you
learned.
got to make
I
your
think they're
money.
lucky. I think they're lucky they can revamp like that. So
Well, moving into September, man, the big story of the month was Kevin O'Leary and the $13 million Kobe MJ card, man.
I think that's amazing. I mean, for the collectible
13
hobby,
million?
13
Yes.
million, and you get a powerhouse investor looking at collectibles like, you know what? Okay, we can buy real estate, we could buy stock. I mean, we could buy a $13 million Kobe card. Okay, great. It's part of our portfolio. So, I mean, pretty impressive. I mean, what are your takes on that? I mean,
Yeah,
do you
man.
like
Well,
that?
when ESPN and the Wall Street Journal and the New York Times, they're you got these mainstream publications focused in on the hobby. That's good for the hobby,
Yeah,
uh, bringing attention to it. But also, though, I think it adds a lot of the are you in the hobby for the money aspect? And for folks like myself, perhaps yourself, obviously you don't want your collection to go down in value, but
sure.
it's not like every card I purchase or have from my youth, I'm looking at it as like, oh, hey, this is an investment piece.
Yeah,
It's a hobby. If you're out there mountain biking, like my son's doing today,
yeah,
it's a mountain bike. You're enjoying
yeah,
it, riding it, getting out of there. So, collection
correct.
cards for what they are. Let's see. Moving on, July. Let's see. eBay extended bidding took place. Don't know if you're aware of that. National took place in Chicago.
Yep.
The Mr. Man Cave incident with Brett Lemieux.
Yeah, that was big news. I remember we touched base on that a couple episodes, and yeah, that was scary because yeah, it's hard to fathom that what you got in. Some collectors out there are like, oh, great, I love Tom Brady, I love whoever these players are, and they find out that what they purchased and coveted so closely to themselves are actually fakes. I mean, it's terrible. So
Hmm.
it did not like to hear that. So
Yeah, no, no, of course, a tragic end, and
yeah,
again, it gives the hobby a negative look. It's either about dollars, it's ultimately about dollars because yeah, you have all these fakes and forgeries and then loss of life.
yeah,
So yeah, tragic, man.
yeah,
Not to be shallow, but moving on to June, let's see, the
yeah,
big topics were Fanatics Fest in New York City,
yeah.
and that take away from the National in Chicago, and apparently not so much. Chicago had a great National, and New York Fanatics Fest in New York City was a success as well.
Yeah, I think it was huge. I mean, it was impressive that both. Well, I mean, both of them did very well, and I think that's going to continue. So I'm excited to see what Finax Fest pulls out next year. So
Well, let's get into the month of May. Speculation of SGC being killed off.
yeah,
Do
yeah.
you feel like that's that's something that's still going to happen?
I think after the Beckett move that we just mentioned earlier, I think there's a revenue there's an arm of collectors universe for SGC like you just mentioned about the vintage cards. I mean, maybe that's kind of like the channel. I'm interested to see how they're going to organize it all, but I have a hard time believing that they just want the public. The big move happened. They're going to like not tell the public anything, and they're just going to have three governing bodies of grading, and they're just going to, be making all the revenue from it without having some type of, like without dialing into exactly what SGC can bring for them
Hmm.
or Beckett could bring to them. So I think that remains to be seen, but I think it's business as usual right now. Um,
I think that kind of got the ball rolling though, with a lot of collectors or investors no longer submitting to SGC. The idea of,
yeah,
you know, PSA moving in the same complex, and then SGC's vintage guys moving over to the PSA office there in Boca Raton. So interesting times with that story.
yeah, I agree.
All right, let's see. Moving into April, the big one was PSA building the grading aspect in their eBay checkout. So if you purchase a card over a certain value, you can submit it directly to PSA for grading.
Yeah, that's
That was
interesting.
kind of like the big news in April.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. I have not partake. Yeah, I haven't looked into
I haven't
that
done it
to be
either,
honest.
man.
So
But
I'd hate to like make a comment and not know one thing or the other, like a pro or a con about it. But
well, the one thing I'll bring up is if I purchase a card and I want to submit it for grading, I would like to look at the card first
yes, yep,
versus, sight unseen. I'm looking at a picture. Maybe it has defects on the card that I'm not aware of.
yeah,
And it gets sent over and it's like, hey, it got a 7 or an 8. And you're like, why did I do this on a newer modern card?
yeah, I
Uh,
agree.
March, Paul Skeens, one of one card, purchased by our friends at Dick's Sporting Goods.
Yeah, pretty crazy. I mean,
Corporate
Skeens,
dollars in the hobby, man.
yeah, Skeens is unique. I mean, yes, he's incredible talent, and unique thing about it is I was afraid that he was just going to become another one of those guys who was just going to disappear. Pirates couldn't pay him, and he's going to go to another team like the Dodgers or the Yankees, and it's going to be the same story over
Well,
again.
his
But
contract's going
apparently,
to be coming up in a few years, so we'll see,
yeah,
man.
well, apparently the owner of the Pittsburgh Pirates said that they're going to spend some money, and it looks like they may start building a team around him. So that's kind of like the
They want
inside
to keep
scoop.
him. They need to build a team around him.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Well, I mean, I'm not a Pirates fan, but I think that's important for baseball. You can't just build these guys up and not pay them and just barely get by as an owner. I think that's not good for the sport. So hopefully the Skeens hype will continue in a Pirates uniform. So
yeah, I mean that to me, do the Pirates keep Skeens? Secondly, the big corporate dollars invested in a card that it's no
yeah,
longer about the collector. It's, like you said, it's kind of that investment aspect. And then, a few months later, we see Mr. Kevin O'Leary's group purchasing big dollar cards. So it'll continue. The
yeah. It's unique
high
that
dollar big players coming in.
it's unique that DSG got into that, and then all of a sudden this Christmas, you see 2025, 2026 tops basketball being released through Dick's Sporting Goods. It's got the end cap at the front. Chrome was released last week there. I mean, I walked in, I was like, wow, what's going on here? I mean, they're getting a push into collectibles. So
And in a sense, those of us that were in the hobby, back in the 80s,
yeah,
early 90s, that's going to give you vibes of, like, hey, junk wax era part 2.0, 3.0, whatever.
maybe. Yeah, that's true.
But
But
it's a little bit more expensive than it was back in the late 80s,
well, when it's
early
$2 a
90s.
card, Kelly, $2 a card retail. I mean, let's be honest, that's way more expensive than the 2 cent cards that we used to buy. So
Exactly. Exactly, man. Looking at February, Tom Brady gets involved with Card Vault.
yeah, it's pretty unique to have a major name in the sport of of any sport be putting his stamp on the collectibles game is pretty neat. If what does it mean for the average collector? I'm not sure yet. Card vault. I don't partake in that. I mean, is that an upper echelon collector based solely on making money or the value of a card?
Well,
Um,
they got one, downtown Dallas, and I haven't
okay.
been there yet. So, but from what I've read and seen, yeah, it's high-end collectibles, and so they're going after a certain kind of clientele, sports fanatics with money that want to, have something to remember that event.
Yeah.
So so you come out of the double AC after a Mavs game or a Stars game, and there's Tom Brady's vault. You're hitting it up. Maybe you're spending some dollars on some high-end cards.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'll have to take a look at that next time I come to Dallas and
Come
visit.
to Dallas. We'll take a
We'll
tour.
definitely go.
We'll film it for CardBlitz.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Let's
Our
do that.
tour. We'll be sitting there filming it. The other big thing was 2024 Topps Chrome football came out, but there were no logos on the helmets or the uniforms.
This
Uh,
is strange.
so yeah, folks were like, "Hey, you're getting back into football because it's been with Panini all these years, but there's no logo." So for you and I, yeah, okay, back in the 70s, 60s, we remember those days. But uh,
Yeah,
for newer collectors, like, wait, why isn't the logo there? So that the licensing thing.
yeah. All it takes is one kid to go, Daddy, look at this card. What's wrong with it? I thought he played on this team. What? This is weird. Why isn't it on there? And then trying to explain it to a 9-year-old. I'm like, okay, here we go.
And then the backyard breaks incident on whatnot that gathered a lot of news for their comments, and a lot
Okay.
of backlash within the collecting community. But apparently, they're still in business and doing their thing.
I just read an interesting article about breaking the breakers. So apparently, Topps Chrome and or Topps period. It was for the Topps Chrome. They were giving more selective boxes to some of the major breakers for the Topps Chrome over the weekend and last week. I
Huh.
didn't know about this. And they unapologetically made a statement and said, well, yeah, that's what we send out. We want to get the name out there. So it's almost like the breakers are just a big marketing arm of Topps.
It's
So, which
first dibs. So.
was pretty surprising. So,
So, like I said, with St. Patrick, 2025 is fast and furious. We went through a lot, and the hobby, I mean, it's always full of adventures and stories. Um, any finishing thoughts on the hobby and the year of 2025 as we wrap it up with that?
I just want to say I'm happy that we are talking about things like this. That means the hobby is healthy. So, Um, I look at it in a different maybe the glass is half full kind of way to look at it. I mean, yes, some major things happen, but I think it's for the best for the hobby. I look forward to what 2026 brings because I think everyone agrees that it's here to stay. I think collecting and collectibles are never going to go away anyways, but I think now that this influx of revenue that's being brought to the hobby, it's making it very interesting. I'm still going to get nostalgia guys like you and I, and then we'll get your investor guys involved. So I think that's a unique twist. So how does it play out over time? Hopefully,
The one thing I was thinking that we didn't address that was there, and you and I were talking about this like as early as I think March of 2025 was the whole Pokemon influence
yeah,
and the amount of Pokemon at card shows, and that's something that didn't make the big headlines, but it's something that's a rumbling in the hobby. And it's like, look, um, you can choose to either go to those card shows that have an abundance of Pokemon, or you can choose not to. That's ultimately the collector's decision. But some of those kids are going to cross over to sports, and maybe some sports collectors, cross over to Pokemon.
interesting question. What would happen if Pokemon suddenly had a decline in interest? Would that would it bring other sports collectibles and other avenues of collecting down? I have no idea. I don't think so from you and our perspective.
From a show promoter's perspective, and we should probably talk to one of them one of these days, and
Yeah, let's do
get
that.
their thoughts on it because ultimately they're the ones that are having the shows and having the Pokemon dealers buy those tables up.
Well, the
So,
one the one here in Charlotte,
do
yeah.
those folks jump on the next hot item? Like I think heard rumblings about this thing called One Piece, and apparently some sort of animated cartoon collectible card that has been out for a few years. That's just now kind of making inroads in that part of the hobby. That I guess TCG.
Oh, I
So
didn't know that. Okay,
yeah,
cool,
yeah, One Piece.
interesting.
And then we didn't really get into the WNBA.
Yeah,
Caitlin Clark and you know, the woman who's with the Dallas Wings now, Paige Beckers. You know,
Yeah,
she's huge down here.
yeah,
So we didn't really get into that, but that's a growing segment of the hobby is the WNBA cards. So
and even soccer. Like
we got a
from
World Cup coming up, don't
I
we?
mean, there's a lot of there's gonna be a
Jerry
lot of.
is going to be hosting like 4 games in June or early July, late June, early July, man. It's
I'd
going to
love to
be
tie.
insane.
I mean, we have to tie that in coming up this year because
We,
that's
we
going to be interesting. What gets released? Is there a special World Cup Series insert card or something like that? I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. So
definitely something on the docket for 2026.
yeah,
Talking about soccer.
that's all right. Yeah,
Yeah. Um, well, then let's get into the big episode 50 giveaway by our
yeah.
good friends at Humongous Hoard.
Yay!
They
All
sent us
right.
a little card that said, "Hey, make sure that folks scan this." And I'll put up a slide with the same info on there. But if you scan the QR code, you get up to $250 off your first order. So you need to protect your collectibles with Humongous Hoard products. And
Yeah,
Patrick, for this giveaway, my understanding is that Humongous Hoard is going to give away like some soft sleeves, some semi-rigids, okay, some semi-rigids, and then what
yep.
is it like some PSA soft sleeves,
Graded. Yep, for graded
and
bag and your standard.
okay, and then graded just resealable card bags for other
Yeah,
graded
pretty
card
neat. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I could use some of these. Those are pretty cool. Obviously, who can't use these? I mean, soft sleeve. These every collector's got them laying around, probably in my office here too.
Got to protect
So
what you pull, right? So,
that's right.
my understanding is that we're gonna have three lucky winners from our episode 50 contest. Uh, so, viewers, CardBlitz viewers, you need to email us at info@blitzweekly.com. Info@blitzweekly.com, and either ask myself a question, Patrick a question, or for both of us a question. And then that'll put your name in the drawing. And if you're we'll do the drawing on the third week of January. And we'll do it live, or we'll do it during our recording. I guess not live, but when we're recording this, we'll do the drawing, and then from there we'll reach out to you on how to get you your Humongous Hoard prize pack.
Yeah, great. Sounds fun, Kelly. I love it.
Dude, they certainly want to thank the folks at Humongous Hoard for
Yes, thank
putting
you.
up a giveaway for our viewers. And hey, it could be win-win. CardBlitz fans get some product to protect their investments and their cards, and maybe Humongous Hoard, maybe they build a relationship with those collectors as well. So it's
Yeah,
win.
I agree.
All
I
right.
agree.
Well,
You guys,
I'll make a little slide to throw up here on the video, and with all the info and all the requirements and all that good stuff too when we publish this.
perfect.
Now we need to wrap it up with Stump Patrick because
All
a
right.
CardBlitz episode is not a CardBlitz episode without trying to stump you.
Correct. Let's go for it.
So let's go to 1975 tops. Your favorite set,
Okay.
favorite baseball set of one Patrick Marshall. Here we go. Which unique player is on, and it's the only player to have on this card a listing at the position of pinch runner. So whenever you reflect back on your 1975 Topps baseball cards, the
Okay.
position says pinch runner.
Okay. All
All
right.
right, only one in the history of Topps baseball cards to have pinch runner as the position for a player.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you four options on the players, and you tell me which letter or name you're going to go with.
Sure.
You ready?
Yes. Ready.
Again, which unique player is the only one in the history of Topps baseball cards to have listed as their position as pitch runner on the front? And is it going to be A, Herb Washington? Is it B, Ricky Henderson? Is it C, George Brett? Or is it D, Patrick Johnston?
A. Herb Washington.
Are you sure this is your final decision?
Yes, for
Finally.
pinch runner. Yes.
And if you said Herb Washington, you, like 83.3% of America, are right.
Okay, great. I almost told you it was Washington before you gave me the choices, but I was like, I better not say anything.
Do you have that card in your set?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's great. I've got it.
That to me is a unique piece of history. I do not have that card. I need to get that
I
card.
did not know that was as told by you just now, but I do have that card, and I remember kind of visually what it kind of looks like in my mind. So it could have been one of my upgrades this year. So that's pretty neat.
Well, if you get an
Yeah.
upgrade, you have a friend in Dallas that is looking for a Herb Washington pinch runner 75 tops baseball
I'll
cards.
remember that.
This guy.
Yeah, yeah. You may get a
A
New
prize
Year's
package in
gift.
the mail from you.
Yeah,
I did not stump Patrick this week, CardBlitz fans, but we're going to keep trying. I got to dig deeper on the interwebs.
the interweb of Kelly's magical mind.
Yes, wherever it's going.
Yeah.
Well, man, it's been a blast. It's been 50 episodes now. It's going to be in the books and a wrap. And certainly want to thank CardBlitz viewers and those that are commenting on the videos and reaching out to us on the Facebook page. Certainly appreciate that. You can also find us on Instagram at CardBlitz Show. And yeah, just reach out, man. We want to talk. We want to grow this community. We love this hobby. And without y'all, we're not gonna be able to build this community. So certainly appreciate all y'all do for us. Thank you.
Yeah, agreed. Everything Kelly just said, times two.
Patrick says, and tell a friend to
Yeah,
subscribe and follow us.
that's right.
Well, on that note, Patrick, I want to wish you and our Card Blitz viewers a Merry Christmas, safe
Yes.
days, and we'll catch you at the start of the new year.
Yes. Happy holidays, everybody. Absolutely, Kelly. You too.
On that note, it's a wrap.
See you guys.